was in here
Hello.
earlier marveling at your workout after the bye week, deadlifting and doing box jumps. So Hugh said he was impressed. Is that your normal routine?
Yeah, that's my normal vet day. So, I know a lot of people think I just sit here and just chill and drink Gatorade, but I actually try to use that day to get a little better.
Hey, Trent, I was just asking Christian and the confusion that Detroit brings defensively. I think 3 of the 4 sacks that they had on Sunday, the pass rusher went untouched. Is that a reflection of kind of that confusion that they can cause?
Yeah, I mean, some of those wasn't even confusion. It was just challenging the weakness of the protection. So, yeah, they mix it up. They're not afraid to bring 6. They're not afraid to bring 7. I think bringing 5 is a norm for them. So that's what keeps it confusing. They bring guys, they drop guys out. They drop a big guy out, bring a small guy. So, and that's just, it's up to us not to play into their hands and not be behind the chains and getting the third and long a lot.
Last week, you're talking about how hard it is to kind of climb the mountain every year and keep getting to this point over and over again. How much urgency, I know you're always urgent, but how much urgency does it add to, after being there multiple times and coming up short to break through and get to that next level?
Honestly, man, if your urgency isn't on level 10, if it wasn't on level 10 last year, if it wasn't on level 10 the year before, it's probably not going to be on level 10 this year. So I think nobody needs any extra motivation when we talk about championship week. We talk about 4 teams out of 32 being left to prove they're the best. I think the urgency is a given, you know what I'm saying? And now it's just about going out there and taking advantage of the opportunity and trying to play mistake-free football, because ultimately that's going to be the difference. All these teams are good at this point. It's about who makes the less mistakes.
Kyle said earlier that he felt like that urgency, he notices it showing up even in the offseason. I'm wondering how it's affected you in terms of, when it's maybe you want to do that little extra workout or whatever. And as a team, do you see guys putting in more of like, hey, we need to do everything we can because that climb is so difficult?
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, so if you've been there, you know what it takes to get back there, right? So, we've been there, obviously, the last 2 years. So, starting in OTAs, you kind of know, and then you kind of got to have control, too, because you want to get it all back in one day, right? You want to win a championship first day of OTA. So, you got to have patience and understand this is a marathon. It's not a sprint. And, you need a little luck. But for the most part, it's all about focus and being able to set a standard and being able to get to that standard every Sunday.
Do you guys like it when the opposing defense brings an extra rusher to try to stop your passing game?
Yeah, because that means that the more rushes you bring, the less you have in coverage. And I like our guys when they can get the ball in their hands with only one guy in their vicinity, or if they only got to beat one guy in a lot of open space. So, it's one of those things where you can live by, you can die by. For us, it's a challenge, and we welcome the challenges, and it's why you got to be on it. It's why you can't play into their hands and get behind the chains, because they can make your life hard.
Colton's probably going to get Hutchinson, I would imagine, in this game a lot, and that means you're probably going to get Pascal and Kaminsky on your side. What do they look like on film? What stands out about their game to you?
About all of them, or just Pascal and Kaminsky?
Pascal and Kaminsky.
Well, they're more so what we would call 3-4 ends, so they're more so interior guys, and they kick out, depending on the formation of the defense. So 79 or 93, they be playing 4-eye, 3-tech majority of the game, and then some looks they'll kick out the end. So they're just bigger. They're bigger guys. They can press the pocket. All of them play like their hair is on fire. Nobody takes a play off. They're a great complement to 97 on the other side, because he often gets pressure and kind of flushes the quarterback right to those guys that's compressing the pocket. So they have a good rush plan, man. Obviously Colton, I'll probably see him too, I'm sure. But anytime any place 97 lines up, you got your work cut out for you. He doesn't stop. He's a great player. So we definitely got to be locked in.
How much do you enjoy the moments, the small moments, like walking out of the tunnel with Debo, the music blaring before a big game like you're gonna have on Sunday?
Yeah, I enjoy all of it, man. At this point in my career, I don't take it for granted. Any chance I can go out there and play, any game with this team, you know, I'm grateful for it. Thank God all the time, just for this opportunity in itself. So yeah, it's the best feeling in the world, man. Coming out to this stadium, see a red, fans just going crazy. You know, it's one of those things when you lay down at night, it's kind of thing you kind of go through your head when you're thinking about, you know, all the things that just happened.
You push back to 2010. You're drafted. You have a young offensive coordinator, Kyle
2010.
Shanahan. What's your earliest memory of him, or meeting him, and what can you say about the relationship you've had for decades now?
You know what's crazy? The thing that stands out to me was his swag. Obviously, in 2010, you didn't meet too many 30-year-old coordinators. So him walking in with Jordan shorts and Jordans on, that was a shock to me. So that stood out to me, and I've always thought about it over the years. But, just seeing he always was a brilliant mind. Anytime he spoke football, anybody would listen. Everybody listened. He knew what he was talking about. But just seeing him mature and seeing him add different facets to the offense and kind of take his dad's offense that was world-renowned and kind of make it his own. And just seeing how he coaches the team, how he leads, and how he prepares his team week in and week out. We're super close, but I couldn't be any more proud of him. You asked me 14 years ago, I probably would have never seen this coming, but, I just think it's so dope that he's one of the best coaches in the league, and he literally, handpicked me in 2010. And, we've been – obviously, I hadn't played for him every year, but every year I've been in the league, I've been in touch with him, and we've always kept in touch, always kept a great relationship.
Penei Sewell's game and just the success that he's had at such a young age.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite guys to watch. He reminds me a lot of myself. He emulates a lot of the things that I do, which impresses me because, we never even really worked together personally. So, that means he watches film. It means he's intelligent. He knows when to bring certain things out. So, he's always been one of my favorites ever since he was in Oregon. Then seeing his maturation from year 1 to year 2 and to now, I just think he's taking giant leaps. And I think he's, he's one of the better right tackles you'll find, not just in the league today, but in recent memory, honestly.
How is Debo today at practice? And then how does him being on the field with Christian, can you feel how it affects the defense when you're out there?
Yeah, I can, just for the simple fact when you see them guys get the ball and you see what they do with it. But, I don't know how the defense approaches it any different. I'm in a box and looking at a DN or a D tackle 24/7. So, but having Debo, it's like saying you want one playmaker or two playmakers. It's anytime you got two out there, you're gonna reap the benefits of having two. And we have three. Luckily for us, we got 3 or 4, so we can keep them fresh. But those guys they just present such challenges for the defense because you got to know where everybody's at. Normally you got to know one guy at maybe 2. On this offense, you got to know where 3 or 4 guys are at all times, and it's hard.
You just talked about how enjoyable it is to run behind you. How enjoyable is it for you to block for him?
Oh, man, it's blocking for the best running back in the league. It makes our job so much easier. Like even the game-winning touchdown, that guy is unblocked in the hole, and obviously that could have been a first down. He would have still been cheering, but for him to make that guy miss, and we say that's yours, we can't block all 11. You got to leave one, and we tell the running back all the time that you got to take care of one, and 99% of the time he's going to take care of his. So if you can hold on to your guy for that split second, let him get through the line, he's going to create havoc.